Pro-EU Poland PM Donald Tusk humiliated as thousands of angry Poles cause chaos.
Donald Tusk, Poland's recently elected EU-friendly Prime Minister, is facing major problems barely 2 months into his tenure after an estimated 300,000 people protested against his media crackdown. And the former European Council president has been fiercely criticized by 2 of his predecessors, with one warning: these are the practices of authoritarian governments. Mr. Tusk heads up a coalition government which took the reins following the October general election, in which the right-wing Law and Justice Party, PiS, was ousted from power after 8 years. Andrzej Duda, the country's PiS-aligned president, yesterday announced he had started the process to once again pardon 2 politicians earlier this week in a move guaranteed to enrage Mr. Tusk. Mr. Duda's move came as thousands of people with anti-government banners and Polish white and red flags gathered for a protest in front of the Parliament building in Warsaw, which later developed into a peaceful march to the office of Mr. Tusk himself. PiS had urged its supporters to protest controversial moves by the new government to take control of state media, as well as voice their outrage at the arrests of 2 senior party members who served in the former government: former Interior Minister Mariusz Kamiński and his former deputy, Maciej Łasek. Mr. Kamiński has claimed he has gone on hunger strike. Speaking of the demonstrators, Mateusz Morawiecki, the man forced to make way for Mr. Tusk after the election, said, "They weren't activists from our party but ordinary people who were simply unhappy with the way Tusk's government is operating, a government that is breaking laws and violating the constitution, locking up political opponents, and cutting off the broadcast of the public television channel. These are the practices of authoritarian governments. These are not practices of Western democracy that we want Poland to be part of." Mr. Morawiecki, who also spoke to Express.co.uk as David Maddox via video link yesterday, added, "We have now shown this government that any attempt to introduce authoritarian rule in Poland will be met with resistance from millions of Poles. But we won't just resist. We will act and try to restore constitutional order in our country." Beata Szydło, Poland's PM from 2015 to 2017, who is now an MEP, added, "According to various estimates, 300,000 people from all over Poland attended Thursday's protest despite the cold and snow. Many of them protested for the first time, and a large number were people who openly admitted that they had not voted for PiS in the last elections. This shows the scale of the outrage at the actions of the Tusk government, which has barely been in office for a month." Poles were shocked by what Ms. Szydło called the government's violations of basic democratic principles. She added, "What next? Local elections are coming up soon, followed by the European elections. There, we intend to show that PiS has consistently high support among Poles. At the same time, we do not intend to stop defending Polish democracy against further attacks from Tusk, as we can be sure that he will continue to act unlawfully." The Helsinki Foundation for Human Rights in Warsaw said the manner in which the new government has taken control of state media raises serious legal doubts, but many law experts say Law and Justice has complicated regulations to such an extent that bold steps are needed to untangle them. Posting on X, formerly Twitter, in December, after taking Telewizja Polska, TVP, off air, in remarks aimed at Mr. Duda, Mr. Tusk said, "Mr. President, as I have already informed you, today's actions are aimed in accordance with your intention at restoring legal order and common decency in public life. You can count on our determination and iron consistency in this matter."